Hi guys, this is Eliana with Why Not Redesign. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you have been here before. I thank you very much. Today I'm going to bring you a video of a piece that I completed actually last year, but I never did anything with that video. And now that I am uploading videos to YouTube, I've decided that you should see this. I'm going to do some blending, and I'm going to do some striping, and I'm going to use metallic gilding waxes, and I'm going to use a transfer. I am going to do the transfer at the end of the piece after I staged it and decided that it wasn't complete. So let me take you through it, and please subscribe and turn on your notifications if you haven't done so that you can continue to see all the new projects that I will bring you on the weekly basis. Thanks again for being here. Let's get started. Yep, I'm gonna be doing a jewelry box, one of those ugly plain ones. I'm gonna be using all Dixie Belle products, and after cleaning it, I am going right to it using in the navy. I will be doing 2 coats of each of the colors that I'm using as the base colors. In the navy on the bottom, and right there you see me applying evergreen, a beautiful bright green color. They are very contrasting, and so I will be using colors in their families to do my mix blending with. My blending is different from perhaps some that you have seen. I like using colors that complement each other, but usually a darker one as a base color and then something lighter on top to do my blending with. It works for me. I like the effect, and I just like the way that it looks. Everybody does it differently. This is my way, and this is why I wanted to bring this video, because I have seen different people do it differently, and some people have asked me how I do mine. So here it is. You get to see it on 4 different sides, because I also painted the back of this Jewelry Armoire, since it's something that some people may have in a place at home where it could be a little bit more open. So I wanted to make sure that it's something that can be seen from all sides. And here we are doing the blending. So the colors that I'm using that are contrasting, the blue is cobalt blue, and for the green I am using kudzu, which is a beautiful light green by Dixie Belle. I am even applying some kudzu over the navy at the bottom on the base, just to give the piece a little bit additional depth. But once again, right there you can see me using the 4 colors in the navy: evergreen, cobalt, and kudzu. And they blend very well, and there's no harsh lines anywhere in the piece. And one more time, here we go. Start by wetting the blue, then using some cobalt blue, applying some kudzu on top of the evergreen, and mixing it all together. I use a couple of different brushes to do this, just like everyone else does. Normally 1 for each color, and then 1 that blends everything together. We're doing the very same thing on the front drawers. In this case, I actually put a little bit additional cobalt blue on the inside of the drawers, because I want to make sure that it blends very well with the navy. But as you'll see, everything comes together beautifully. I'm gonna be using a lot of the gilding waxes, and I'm gonna be top coating this piece with Big Mama's butter. I used the Big Mama's butter before I actually added the metallic gilding waxes, and you'll see that coming up. In retrospect, I think I would have used the gilding wax first in some places and then put the Big Mama's butter on it to top coat everything. I am using the Morocco stencil on the sides of each of the drawers, and I would also use it on the top, on the inside part of the top. I did it on the sides right there also, where you would open the door of the jewelry box, and so you can see that. For the gilding waxes, I use several colors. I use silver and gold. I use carbon, which is a dark, like a black, but also could be like, it's almost like a dark silver, if you will. And I use a little bit of copper, and I combine all of the colors, and I think that they look beautiful. You see different shades of it. I also applied all of the gilding waxes on on the edges of everything, and I used it as the refinishing touch for the jewelry, for the hardware as well. I love the gilding waxes because they dry in 4 hours and cure within those 4 hours, and so it's super easy to use, and you do not need to top coat it. It's lovely for depth also. I'm gonna show you how I staged this piece as just using the gilding waxes and the different the colors, and then I decided to do the transfer, and I'll show you how I did that, and later I'll show you how I staged that. Here I am using the Morocco stencil on the inside of the top of the piece. There it is. Doesn't it look beautiful? I also did the stripes, but I apologize, I do not have video of that. For the stripes, I simply put painter's tape on the side. I use different sizes of it, put my gilding waxes on the sides, and then remove. It is super simple to do. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? So this right here is where I decided that this piece wasn't done. It just needed something. I don't know why I thought so, but I went through my stash of transfers, and I actually had one that was going to complement the colors beautifully. And so I decided to cut it up in pieces and start putting it all over the place. I am that person who never follows a pattern on a transfer. Yes, I know that sounds weird, and I have no, I actually have never done it. I have never followed the pattern that the transfer comes in. This one was beautiful, but it was pretty big, and so I cut it up in different pieces and used it in different ways and different sizes, and just kind of mixed it all over the place. And that's kind of how my brain works, I guess. I don't know, I like it, but I like it to look different that when it comes in. And don't get me wrong, they are beautiful and they're made that way for a reason, but I'm a rebel, I guess, when it comes to stuff like this. I like it my way, and that's the way that I'm going to do it. Somehow it always ends up working really well for me. So remember that I said I didn't start out with this piece to actually have a transfer on it, and in retrospect, here's my tip. I would not put Big Mama's butter on anything if I know that I'm going to then use a transfer on it. It made it harder for me to apply it. You don't see the struggle that I'm going through over here, but trust me, the struggle was real. And just take it as a tip from me. Big Mama's butter is a wonderful top coat, but it is oil based, and so when you are applying something that has glue on top of something that has an oil on it already, it makes it really hard. So don't do that. Do as I say and not as I do. It worked out at the end for me, but I did have to wait until the Big Mama's butter was a little bit drier, and that took a couple days, to be very honest with you. And I had the hard time, I still had a hard time applying the transfer on it, even after that. So it delayed it and it just made it harder. So again, don't do it. I'm trying to save you time and a lot of energy and some gray hairs, because I think I grew some. But have fun with transfers. Here I'm even applying part of the transfer on top of the mirror. And a lot of people have a hard time doing so, but for me it works out really well. I've done it a few times and I think the mirrors look beautiful when you do this. In the end, the piece turned out really well. I'm going to show you the second staging of this piece here coming up, and finally this was it, and this is the way that it's sold. I think it just needed that transfer, and the transfer was exactly the right colors for it. Thanks again, you guys, for watching today. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, and I will see you again on the next one. Love you guys. Bye.